Hello class, and welcome to today's lesson on literary theory. My name is Amanda.
And my name is Eric. Today we hope to explain to you a little about literary theory itself, as well as one of its main schools of thought. First, let's look at what a literary theory is. It is defined as a system of analysis used to examine and study different works of literature.
So then you may be wondering, what exactly does this mean? Well, in essence, this means that a literary theory is basically a particular way to look at those books which we observe every day.
Now, there are many unique schools of literary theory, as you will be learning about soon. Today, however, we will be discussing only one, psychoanalytic theory.
Now let's lay out the basics. Psychoanalytic theory is based on the analysis of literature from a psychological perspective, applying theories and concepts from psychology to literary works.
Now, in order to fully understand and apply this theory, you must ask, where did it begin? Psychoanalytic theory began from the concept of psychoanalysis that was established by psychologist Sigmund Freud.
Throughout his life, Freud contributed greatly to the advancement of psychology. In his founding of psychoanalysis, he changed the way that psychologists look at mental problems, shifting away from the more rigid focus to more abstract ideas.
With Freud's concept of psychoanalysis, the origin of psychological problems is viewed as originating in the unconscious.
On its most basic level, then, this concept teaches one to look beyond the superficial in the analysis of any situation. This can clearly then be applied to literature just as well.
Utilizing this concept, Freud employed and developed many of his lasting theories. Although the psychoanalytic theory may deal with any number of psychological viewpoints and theories, we will first examine those of Freud.
Now, there are two of Freud's prominent ideas which we will examine in relation to literature, the Oedipus-Electra complex and the three-part psyche.
Firstly, we will discuss the Oedipus-Electra complex and analyze it in literature. This is a concept denoted by Freud which states that all boys around the ages of 4 or 5 will develop a sexual desire for their mothers. In this way, they will become jealous of their fathers and desire to kill them.
He believed the same happened for young girls, as according to the Electra complex, which stated that all young girls will desire their fathers and fear their mothers in their youth. He believed a failure to overcome these innate desires would lead to future neurosis.
Now, this may sound like a seemingly ridiculous concept, and you may be wondering, how can this be applied to literature? Yet you would be surprised at just how easily this can be found in major works and writings.
Take, for example, two very well-known works which we can analyze using psychoanalytic theory to apply this concept.
In both William Shakespeare's Hamlet and Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, we can find prime exemplars of this idea.
In the movie Psycho, we observe a story about a young man overly obsessed with his mother. As a young boy, Norman Bates was shown a twisted view of the world through this emotionally abusive woman. In their life alone together, Norman developed a strong obsession. When his mother found a partner, Norman was driven to kill him as well as her out of jealousy. Using psychoanalytic theory, we can look at this film from a psychological perspective and relate it back to Freud's Oedipus complex. Norman's irrational jealousy was clearly a product of his unhealthy desire for his mother. His inability to overcome this stage led to this severe neurosis later in life, creating the Norman Bates we all know today.
In a similar fashion, we can too apply this to Hamlet. In this play, we follow the story of a prince who is mourning his father's loss. Upon his father's death, his mother remarried with her brother-in-law, Claudius. His father's ghost informs him that it was indeed Claudius who has killed him. Upon proving his guilt, Hamlet is hesitant to kill Claudius and decides not to at that point. If we must apply psychoanalysis to this situation and ask, why would he spare the man who murdered his father? Well, according to the Oedipus complex, it is seen that Hamlet spares Claudius out of guilt. Hamlet feels guilty because he desired to do just what Claudius did, kill his father and marry his mother. This desire for his mother is also seen in his lack of sexual interest with Ophelia, or any other woman for that matter. This guilt leads him to question whether he is truly better than Claudius, who merely enacted these desires.
So, now that we can begin to see just how this literary theory can be applied around us, let's take a look at another concept.
Created using Powtoon.